Hello, hello, hello again, my friends. This is Miguel. I'm a personal growth strategist and the host of Strategy Rewind Podcast, the podcast that focuses on the mindset and strategies needed for a breakthrough moment. I'm super excited that we could be connected here today as we are coming close to the end of February. I had determined that I would go live every day in the month of February on the Wisdom application. And I'm really excited to be able to report not only that I've been able to do such a thing, but also the effect and the impact that it has had on so many individuals that either have joined the conversation by clicking on the button and becoming the guest, or have sent me private messages saying, hey, your words have impacted the strategies, the insight, the perspective, and I'm super grateful. Of course, anyone who's joining live on the Wisdom application, if you have not checked out my podcast, please consider checking out Strategy Rewind. Again, it's the podcast that focuses on the mindset and strategies needed for a breakthrough moment. Hey, if you hear some background noise, it is because I'm currently driving. And I am driving heading towards the gym. So for the sake of context, right now it is 5:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason I want to present that to you is because typically I have been going to the gym at 9 p.m. And I only say that because today, some meetings got changed, some plans got canceled, and I realized that I had the opportunity to go to the gym much earlier. So I'm on my way to the gym right now. And I'm reporting that to you because I think it holds true that we need to be, as Bruce Lee said, be like water. And when we talk about personal growth, there is a level of flexibility that we need to possess. So often we're waiting for opportunity to knock at the door. But if opportunity doesn't knock, then you build a door. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, we need to be flexible enough, but yet committed at the same time. What happens oftentimes is that we are more flexible than committed. Let me explain. Too often, in hopes of being flexible, we do not create a schedule. We do not create a routine. We do not create a plan. Let me ask you, when's the last time you wrote something on your calendar? Something meaningful. When was the last time you determined a certain block of time of the day was going to be set aside for something? Well, that's what I had done. I set aside that from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., I would be in the gym. It's the time that just works for me. But today it happened that meetings were canceled and things got pushed aside. And there I saw an open opportunity and I said, aha, I will go to the gym now then. With the commute from one part of the city to another, it'll be 30 minutes before I can make it to the gym, 30 minutes, give or take a few. I figured, let me jump on the Wisdom application. Let me talk to my friends. And I know that the Wisdom application will bring more insight into this conversation. At least my friends on the Wisdom app will. And not only that, of course, this month, all of the conversations on the Wisdom app become part of the podcast Strategy Rewind. So on my commute, I am recording a podcast. Oftentimes we talk about, I have no time. And yet, when time is afforded to all of us, we don't take advantage to it. This is the level of flexibility that we should have. Yes, create a schedule. Yes, be focused. Yes, be dedicated. Yes, enjoy the grind. Yes, do all those things. But also be flexible. Be like water. And the thing about water is that, as Bruce Lee said, you can put it in a cup and it takes the form of a cup. You can put it in a vase and it takes the form of a vase. You can put it on an ice tray and leave it in the freezer for a few minutes or hours. And when you come back, you'll have some ice cubes. You can take water and put it in the river and it will flow. For this reason, the idea should be that you should be focused in on your goals, focused in on what you're trying to obtain, but be flexible in that when you see an opportunity open up, such as the one I've experienced here and I'm sharing with you, take advantage, pounce, move on it. I'm not going to go to the gym and be there 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm going to do my 1 hour workout as I've been doing it, and then I'm going to go home. By the time I get home, I will have a little bit more time with my family than what I would have had I gotten home later. We don't realize often that we have more time at our hands. 24 hours is actually enough time, but oftentimes we mismanage it. So what I would encourage you is fill your calendar, work with your calendar, and have your calendar work for you. Currently, I'm using the Google Calendar, and I've been playing around with calendars lately. I was testing out Outlook's calendar. I didn't really like it too much, and I've been even playing around with how the calendar looks on a computer versus on my phone, and really trying to get into a rhythm and playing around with what calendar works best. Hey, if you've got this down packed, if you got a calendar system that works, man, let me know. I'm still trying to work out the kinks. And so I'm not married to one calendar, although I do like the way Google Calendar works. And I am part of the Google ecosystem, as I do have the Google Pixel and a lot of Google devices in my house. But really, the focus of this conversation is not about Google or anything of the such. The focus of the conversation is being flexible. And when you are committed and yet flexible, you are committed enough to decide today I will go to the gym, or today I will eat healthier, or today I will do one more thing to get me one step closer to my breakthrough moment. It's not about radical goals or how extreme you can be. The practical goal leads to radical life. That's the thing about it. So, what's the one thing you can do today to be one step closer to your breakthrough moment? What's the one thing that you can do today to be one step closer to being the person you want to be? One thing. Maybe there are many things you'd like to do, but just one thing. What's the one thing you can do today and say, yeah, this one thing is doable? This one thing I can do today to be better, to get closer of living the life I want to live. And what happens is that once you do that one thing, it's easier to determine what the next thing is, and the next thing, and the next thing. And now you're building momentum. And when you build momentum, you become unstoppable. And this allows you to live a more fulfilled life, one without fear, one with the boldness to move. And so filling up our calendar with the meaningful things that we have to do, rather it be dropping off the kids at school, picking them up, going to the dry cleaner, going to work, whatever else you may find in between, going to school, etc. Filling your calendar doesn't mean that you are losing time. Filling your calendar allows room for flexibility, because when something gets canceled, well, you can easily say, okay, well, let me readjust. In fact, one of the things I like about the Google Calendar is that on the website, that is, as opposed to the application, there is an extension that you can download to the Google Calendar. And what it does is that it allows you to essentially type in your goal. something you want to accomplish. Let's say, for example, you want to go to lunch at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. And so it then rearranges what time you should be aiming to go to lunch. It looks at your calendar and it determines, okay, you should probably go to lunch around this time or that time based upon the meetings you have, based upon how busy it is. And then after a while, it actually understands when your busy time is and when you're most productive, and it'll continue to move around. Now, it doesn't permanently move it because you can go in and determine you don't want to take your lunch at 11, you want to take it at 3. But what I'm saying is that there are tools that you can utilize that actually can help you. You know, one of the things that I've mentioned a lot is the tool or the power of alarms. Alarms is something that I've been using a lot. It not only helps me with waking up in the morning, but it also keeps me in track for throughout the day. And what I want to encourage you here today as you are journeying through your day, and I'm inching closer to my destination. In the last, in the last few minutes here, I've been conversing with you, which is recording a podcast and also live on the Wisdom app. And I'm also driving towards the gym, something that normally I do much later in the day, but because space opened up, flexibility allowed me to say, okay, let me commute and let me converse with my friends. Because by doing so, I've now removed so many things out of my to-do list and what I have for today. And it didn't ruin my routine because after all, the desire is to get to the gym and the desire is to converse with you on the Wisdom app and be able to be present on the Strategy Rewind podcast. You see, so often we say, I don't have the time to do X, Y, Z. You have the time. You have the space. You have the opportunity. Make a calendar your friend. Make the calendar work for you. And with something like your phone that you can have your calendar right there on your hands, it'll let you know, hey, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and you can set alarms. I'm only sharing with you what I have been implementing. If you want to see more of the strategies that I have been implementing to be able to lose weight, wake up earlier, go to bed earlier, and do much more things in 2023, then I would encourage you to visit miguellebron.com/coaching, because there you can actually subscribe to my writings. And I am sharing there transparently in live real time the strategies that I'm implementing to grow not just it personally, but also grow my business. Today, in particular, I wrote an article about how I've been able to be on more podcasts this year. My goal was to triple the amount of shows, podcasts that I was a guest on, triple what I did in 2022. In 2022, I guest appeared on 4 podcasts. In this year, I've already doubled that, and I'm heading straight to the goal of tripling that. And I'm only 2 months into the year. And I write transparently about that. So if you want to know more of the strategies that I'm using, head over to miguellebron.com/coaching, or just simply click on the details in my bio or show notes, depending on what platform you're using to listen to this. Of course, there on miguellebron.com/coaching, you can also set up a free strategy session. And again, it's free. The idea here would be that you would establish practical goals that would lead to a radical life. There at miguellebron.com/coaching, you'll also find information of a coaching course we'll be doing this weekend, March 4th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where we'll be talking about the start of a master plan. And in order for you to start your master plan, you're going to need to identify and define your values. But did you know there are different kinds of values? We're going to be talking about that and also the importance as it relates to your definition of success, your goals, and being able to live out a more fulfilled life. Why is this important? It's important because statistically, by March, individuals drop their goals. Not that they accomplish them, that they drop them. And I don't want that for you. So while you're there on the website, please consider signing up for this free coaching course. Many other benefits are available and will be communicated to those who sign up directly. So be sure to do so. Thank you so much for being connected here. I am 2 minutes away from the gym and I've been connected here again. Just a sign of what it is to use the time you have for your advantage and a sign and representation of what it is to be flexible. Be flexible. Of course, none of this is possible without the support of my gracious and amazing wife. And so I'm so grateful for her. She's not on the Wisdom app, so she's not going to hear it now. But when this airs as a podcast episode, maybe she'll hear it. Either way, at least you know that I couldn't have done it by myself. Hey, surround yourself with people that will nourish your vision. And in the words of Bruce Lee, be like water. You can put water in a cup and it takes the form of a cup. You could put water in a vase and it takes form of the vase. And you can put water in the river and it flows. So be committed to your goals, but also be flexible with your goals.